What it Scooby Dooby Dooby Doo? Let me tell you, I done been in here for literally awake for like 7 hours, and I'm looking at the wrong spot because I couldn't even get my camera to work just now. I'm I'm coming in like, gosh, I ain't even got the dang thing plugged in. I'm having a hard time today already. Shit. Okay, let's plug some shit in. I don't know if there's anybody there. Shit. But I I fucked up, y'all. I lost track of time in here playing with my fucking face. In here playing with my face. Lost track of time. Now let's see. I mean, I don't have nothing. Like nothing set the way it's supposed to set. And of course I'm gonna have a guest today. But I gotta get myself ready. Lord have mercy. This is not how I intended to look. It's really not. So as soon as I get Davina on here, I'm gonna go and put myself together. I don't even know what camera to look at right now. I'm gonna go and put myself together as soon as I get Davina on here. So, what up, Bun? Yeah, I'm. Let me send this out. Yeah, I'm gonna get her squared away, and then I'm gonna get myself squared away, and then we can talk this wrap up. I can't believe I did all of this today. It's crazy. Mm, mm, mm. So yeah, here D should be coming shortly, and then I'll give her the itinerary. Hey, Clarence. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I hope she hurry up because I am sitting here literally halfway put together. I'm not even all the way together. Uh, so D, if you out there and you listening, check your email right now. Oh gosh, I think it's gonna be a hat day because I mean, I didn't even finish doing my hair. I've been up. It started at about 7 o'clock this morning. I called Davina. We just got off the phone 10 minutes ago. We've been on the phone since 7 o'clock this morning, talking about this, talking about that. I'm in the bathroom still playing, and she was like, well, send me the stuff. It's 301. 301? Where? What? I could not believe how long we just sat in here on this phone, how quickly I lost track of time, how crazy I feel right now because I know that there are some things that I need to get done here. Let me see. So how y'all doing, Clarence, Lysandra? Y'all good? Because y'all can see I'm having one of them days. It's like freaking time just freaking stood still on me. Goodness. What is Scooby? Hey, I can't hear you because I ain't got my headphones on. You know I gotta go. I'm glad that you're doing amazing.
Hold on,
Yes,
I'm
it's
on the
just
phone with my mama.
fantastical.
Mama, I'm gonna call you
I
back,
still can't hear
okay?
you. Let me put these
Bye bye.
on. What'd you say?
I was on the phone with my mama. I just told her I was gonna call her back.
Oh,
She had called. Oh, I don't think I
okay.
need to
So
keep them on.
I'm gonna go finish putting my clothes on. Yeah, girl, it was gonna be a whole different kind of show. Give me a second.
You know you gotta be on here live, don't you? Oh, this is so funny. Oh gosh. Hey everybody. Let's see if I got these. How's everybody doing? Hey Clarence. Hey Lysandra. We missed you, Lysandra. I missed you. So Miss Tasha got to get her clothes on, and then she'll be back. Yes, she did. So how is everybody doing today? It's a shame because Tasha and I were on the phone. We've been on the phone, oh my God, for about 6 hours, maybe more, just talking about everything. Yes, I'm so glad to see you back, Bun. So we've been on the phone this morning. She called me and we just been chopping it up like all day. And she's like, oh my God, we've been on the phone that long? I was like, yeah, we've been on the phone that long. And then she realized that she didn't have her clothes on. And I was getting dressed while I was talking to her. So yeah. And there we are. She called me at like 7:50 today. Yeah. So how is everybody doing? Nobody wants to talk to me. Clarence, where are you going to see the kiddos at? Oh, Dallas. I thought you were already in Dallas, Clarence. I know, Bun. We just get to talking. I talk to my brother like that too sometimes, and he like, girl, look, you didn't have 7 hours of my life. We're not gonna stay on this phone like this no more. So then we just cut it down to like, maybe 3 hours.
And then I
Uh-oh,
forgot.
Cowgirl is back.
Whew. And I forgot that I had to put the headphones on. Okay.
Okay, you got a little hair sticking out on the side.
It's gonna be there.
On the left side.
It's gonna be there.
So I was just talking to everybody to see what they was up to. And Clarence is going to see his kiddos in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And you got Wind Whispers. She's laughing real hard because you had to go get dressed.
Girl, I see Wind Whispers out here clowning me. Wind
Hey,
Whispers.
we had a good conversation, Clarence. We were talking about everything from religion back in the day. Just
I'm talking
everything.
about if somebody told me that we're gonna pay you to be on the phone for 7 hours, I'd be like, I can't do that.
I done went to the 2 different post offices trying to get my package, talking to her on the phone.
Girl, on the phone. The whole I'm so uncomfortable right now because I know that things is not as they should be. But welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce. This right here is the weekly wrap up. This is where we talk entertainment news at the end of the week. And I'm sitting here. It ain't usually like this. Wind whispers. Don't be clowning me. I don't know how. I don't know how that shit happened.
Okay, we can't talk on the phone that long no more when we gonna be on.
Never ever again on game day. Never on game day. I'm not even answering. I'm gonna pretend like I don't even know you. If I see the phone ringing, I'm not answering it. Not on game day. You don't even know what we're talking about. We was on the phone for 7 hours and I never sent her the file. So
Yeah,
that's another thing that,
it's all right.
y'all gotta forgive me.
That's what just imagine if we were close to each other.
If we lived in the same city, oh my God.
Oh my God.
People would
It
be
would be
sick.
bad.
Well, these freaking kids would be sick of you.
They might be happy that I'm in the area. I'm gonna make a trip up there for saying we're gonna go to the movies.
Girl, it would have been so wonderful to do it for this Spider-Man shit, but there are other things coming out, so I guess we can do it then.
I don't know why we didn't think, because I'm off that day. I could
How
have
about
came
that?
on up there. Oh
Um,
yeah, put me on.
and then I got the film review Friday thing up. Girl, this is ghetto today. This is right here. This right here is some Gary, Indiana production. Straight out of GI. Oh gosh.
Hey, it's the best place to be.
No, it's not.
It is.
It really isn't.
Look. A lot of other people feel like that. I love
Yeah.
where I came from because I met some wonderful people. They don't think a
Yeah.
lot of wonderful people are in Gary. They are.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm a product of Gary. So I'm
Yeah.
a wonderful person. But I'm
Yes.
talking about there's a such thing as the oppression of the place. Which camera's on? This camera's on.
It's okay. I get it, but I still look when I go home. We was talking earlier. Like, when I go home, it just feel like I can just like
Feel like
breathe.
home.
Yes,
Now, the people, like we were saying, going home, the people make it feel like home.
and
My
the food.
sister and the
Don't forget
children
about the food.
and some of the food, yes. Because it's some shit. If you are in Houston, Texas, I don't know what the hell y'all been doing with y'all lives. But look, I can also say this. We could take them to Gary and give them some food, and they'll be like, I don't know what the hell kind of slop this is. We were there for a long time.
I don't think so because we don't eat slop. We don't eat slop. We
Well,
eat some good stuff.
yeah. I mean, if you want the real good stuff, we got to cook.
That's fine.
But
But we can take them over to the Shy because even though you from GI, you done just like adopted the Shy
yeah,
because it was right there.
it's right there.
It's right
It's
there.
right
You
there.
just go over there. Man, I found out that the shrimp place that I used to go to in the middle of the night, Goose Island, they done sold it, and I think they closed. They said everything done changed. I said, "Oh,
Oh,
that's just so wrong." The
you see
shrimp,
what happened? We move and everything just fall apart.
man, the shrimp. Look, I'm about to be country. The shrimp, the frog legs, the everything is just gone.
Yeah,
They
you
said
and
it's just different.
you
I
and you
said,
and Lasandra can have that conversation about frog legs and pig's feet.
look, I'm bougie. I only eat my grandmama and them pig feet or my
Wait a minute.
mama's.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
And I don't know how this topic of conversation has never come up between us.
Uh-huh.
We've decided that we've been friends for about 36, 37 years. So
No,
do
because
you eat chitlins?
I'm 45, so like it's like 37. Yeah, you're right. 37,
Yeah,
give or take.
ish.
Yeah,
You
that's
eat
a long
chitlins?
time. Huh?
Do you eat chitlins?
Only if my grandmother cooked them.
Uh,
I attempted to cook them one time,
oh,
and I was so pissed because I had two containers. Well, not containers, they were like little packages, like flat
yeah.
packages. And by the time I cleaned off what I thought shouldn't be there, I had this little pot, and then I
But
burnt the
that's
damn things.
oh, I can't imagine what burnt chitlins smell like. They already stank.
They didn't. These were the pre-clean ones. They didn't. They didn't just throw them in the bucket and slap the top on them like they do them big white buckets. So I didn't expect. My grandmother used to cook them, and I would eat them when she cooked them. You don't eat everybody's chitlins. Don't do that.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't
Yeah.
eat nobody's chitlins.
Well, you know,
Wait a minute. Claire said F chitlins.
I see what he said. You just disrespectful to the
Oh,
grandma chitlins, okay?
well, look, before we get to something serious, because I know y'all didn't come here for this. So before we get to something serious, I'm gonna say one more thing. Clarence, the week of Thanksgiving, I guess they had some type of technical issue with their podcast, and you can like they had a snippet up of where this issue exactly where it happened in the recording, right? Girl, I actually heard Claire say a bad word, girl.
Right. Oh, you said a bad word.
Girl, that must have made me almost fall out my effing chair. I mean, for somebody like me who curses so much, it's so freaking funny when it's somebody that you don't expect to curses. That was funny. Okay.
Lysandra says she eats them and pig feet, but only your daddy's. I understand. It's only certain people that you know that are clean and
Mhm.
clean the food well that I won't. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, if I make some chitlins, don't even mess with them because number one, I'm trying to kill you. But number two, I have the I don't even know what the things are supposed to taste like. I have
With
if
some
I've
hot
eaten a
sauce on them
chitlin,
suckers. Woo, woo,
if
woo.
I've eaten one, it's because they snuck that shit to me. They told me it was something else when I was a little kid. Once I got old enough to realize, like, number one, this shit stinks. Number two, I know what this is now. I know what it is. You cannot fool me anymore. So
Now
yeah,
it's so strange because when my grandma cooked them, she put an onion in
onion,
there and they didn't smell.
and I have heard that. Oh, just put onion in it. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm not gonna cook them at all. If you're looking for chitlins, you're looking for the wrong bitch.
Okay. Do you eat
Oh,
rabbit?
I don't eat. No, I don't eat nothing that can be my pet.
Mm.
Dogs, cats, rabbits. No,
Well, you can have
no,
a pet pig.
no. I couldn't. Girl, look, no, and
You eat that bacon.
girl, I will eat all dang near all parts of the pig except for them feet and the snout and the tail and all that other foolishness that people be doing. Anywho, let's. And you wasn't supposed to be on here for this part because we're
I
talking about
know.
your place of employment.
I know. So I'll just go in the background, or maybe I just won't say anything. How about that?
Okay, I just don't want it to look like you are endorsing anything that I'm about
Look,
to say
Tasha, these
here.
these are the words of Latasha Pierce herself and Latasha Pierce
Yeah,
herself alone.
look, and Davina is sitting here. She is not a representative of Amazon or any of its subsidiaries. No. So we've made that clear. Even though she's an employee, do not expect for her to be making no comment,
Okay.
especially since he's an employee.
I
As a
just
matter of
take
fact, I'm
my
taking you off the screen, period.
okay.
Oh, you said you're back. Oh, all you missed was us sitting here still talking. But what we are, what we are going to discuss right now, and like I said, I was taking Davina off of the screen. I think because I don't want her place of employment to think that she is acting as a representative. So we're going to talk about that tragedy in Edwardsville, Illinois, at that Amazon Center. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there were, as of 7 something this morning, there could have been another report by this time, but there was a tragedy when a set of, and I'm saying a set of tornadoes touched down in Edwardsville, Illinois, and completely destroyed this Amazon distribution or fulfillment center. And like, if you look at the photo that's on the top, is what that center looked like. The photo that's on the bottom is what was the aftermath of this storm. So again, uh, Public safety authorities said there are confirmed fatalities at a partially collapsed Amazon facility. It was damaged last night at 8:33 p.m. when this wave of violent weather went through. So our hearts are out, going out to the people in Edwardsville. If you want to take a look at what it looks like
tornado
when this
in
freaking
Edwardsville.
tornado hits the
And it is
ground.
hard to see, but that does certainly does look like something's touching down and would be on the ground and causing problems. And we know we could see the circulation. We know we had a tornado there confirmed. And here it is again, because when tornadoes pick up debris and it's lofted into the air, we can see that on the radar screen. It shows up as something that's odd shaped or different size shaped items that are in the air. It's not raindrops, which, theoretically, a raindrop is basically
So you saw
a possible tornado
what was like
in Edwardsville.
one. This is what it looks like inside of one of those facilities. So you can see how much stuff will be kicked around with the right kind of tornado going through there. How much stuff could be picked up? How devastating could it be to even just the people on the inside of the building? My understanding is that there are safety measures that are in place for the employees when these types of things happen, but it is just freaking just the amount of violence that this storm could do. This right here is a picture that shows that at this point there are two tornadoes on the ground. Wind whispers. No, the tornado was the tornado. I'll say this: it was over 200 miles that at least one of these tornadoes stayed on the ground for over 200 miles. That's unheard of. Usually they'll pick back up and drop somewhere else, but it stayed in the same alley for over 200 miles. Insane. Just insane amount of devastation. But as you can see here, there are at least two. There's a funnel cloud to the left, and then you look all the way to the right, there's another funnel cloud. So I'm looking at a couple of tornadoes that dropped down in this area. And Lysandra said, we're in December. When have we ever had rainstorms in December? This weather is getting worse. I agree with you. Lysandra. It's getting, the weather is getting worse, and there are people who argue this, but there truly is a case for climate, the climate change conversation. This is just different. And in December, it doesn't get humid and hot enough in December, usually in the Midwest, for those kinds of storms. So things are just happening different now. Here in Houston, I have seen the winter thunderstorms, and even that is out of the ordinary because of the weather. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, wind whispers, don't you worry. I would literally, you would just piss. I would shit myself. Oh my gosh. So again, while December is the second least likely month to see tornadoes in Middle Tennessee, trailing only behind September, it's not unheard of. What we're seeing right now is essentially an extension of our secondary severe weather season, which generally happens in October and November. What it comes down to is that with the right atmospheric conditions, tornadoes can happen at any time of the year. And it says here in the Southeast, but I'm talking Tornado Alley, where you were likely to get a tornado. That section, I guess, that section of land where you would normally get a tornado. Wind Whispers also said, I totally believe in the climate change issues, and I too see the difference in our weather system. Well, like I was saying, I'm in Houston. us in Texas, we are having well, last year we had that freaking ice storm that hit us out here, and it just crippled it
The
crippled
state.
the state pretty much.
Yes.
And something that was never, they didn't have to deal with it here before.
But the bad part about Texas is like it happened a while ago, and these things were so supposed to have been updated, and they still haven't updated them. They're we're still having a whole bunch of things backlash that they had to from what went on, and they're still trying to like figure it out.
And that's another thing. It's like, okay, this thing happened. They feel like it's a fluke.
Yeah.
No, this shit can happen again. It can definitely happen again. And I'm not looking forward to being to being without water and without all of your basic necessities, because these people are not taking it seriously as it pertains or as it comes to the weather,
And that's
how dangerous climate change could be if you're caught with your pants down. And we're only caught with our pants down because people want to be greedy.
And then the other thing is like have those emergency kits and stuff, just blankets and things that you don't have to use,
Candles
lighters and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
tea lights or candles, stuff that you can have that doesn't perish away and things of that nature. So like lanterns, stuff that where you can be able to see, and something where it will keep you warm,
Right.
to be
You
so you'd
can
be able
always
to
take
not-
clothes off,
yeah.
but you got to pile stuff on when it's starting to be cold. You got to think about, just it's not a thought that I thought I would have here. Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't think that I was going to have to worry about a true to life winter storm, but here we are.
Yeah. Because even our weather, at home in Gary, Indiana is changing. Like, for a while, like we had some bad winters. Like we were going to school in these winters. Like our parents were waking up and we never missed school.
Mm-hmm.
We always went to school. But even our weather at home is changing. Like now it'd be like freezing and snow everywhere. And it's not even that at home.
And that's basically what Lysandra said here. She was like, I
Mhm.
thought we would have had snow right now, but we don't. So she's up north where we're from in that region.
Mhm.
And she's experiencing, oh gosh, me and the shit over here, girl. She's experiencing a different kind of winter as well,
Yeah.
So when Whisper said, we are getting way too comfortable having all our everyday utilities that if something did go down, most of us wouldn't know what to do anymore. You are so correct.
Yes, because
We
they
are-
definitely don't know what to do here in Texas. And if anybody knows other than Clarence, like here in Texas, they have their own power grid. That
Right.
was something that I did not know before moving here. I learned all of this stuff when it was going down. I'm like, oh, okay.
And I mean, we talk about them not knowing how to deal with what hit them. But if a hurricane suddenly hit, Gary, Indiana, they wouldn't know how to act. If it's something that you've never experienced, you're not going to know what to do in that situation unless you have some type of plan.
All I know is to stay away from windows.
Yeah,
And
I
they
mean,
say get in the
as far as
tub.
hurricane readiness, I wasn't here for the last for Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was back at home for visiting my dad. But yeah.
Yeah, and then with your insurance and stuff, like with your home insurance, I was going to tell you this earlier. Like we have renters insurance for apartments. Like here, you have to have it. Like they
Yeah.
not playing.
Right.
You have to call them. We had to get flood insurance added on. That's not a part of what you
no.
already have.
Right. They don't now what I was going to say,
It's a
they don't
natural
cover
disaster.
acts of God under your
Mhm.
normal
Yeah.
under your normal policy. So you
Mhm.
would have to have, and they consider a hurricane, flood, or whatever
A
an
natural
act of
disaster.
God.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just added that flood insurance, and that's from what our insurance person said, that was from FEMA, and it comes out of your comprehension part of your insurance, if anything were to ever happen like that.
Yeah, so it was just a piece of, I guess, a piece of news that we needed to talk about, even though, it's not entertainment related. Of course, it's going to be fingers pointed and all of this stuff, but it is something of some type of consequence. We do need to be vigilant about those kinds of things as well, and to send out our thoughts and prayers and well wishes. And if you got some money, send that to the people, because I'm pretty sure the people of Edwardsville, all of those towns that was hit last night with these tornadoes, and potentially those people whose lives are about to change dramatically after the events at that Amazon warehouse. So
Yes.
now we're going to talk about Travis Scott. Now, because I was on the phone for fucking half the goddamn on morning, all of the dang on morning, because I was on the phone, I did not get the snippet of this video that I was going to play, but we can talk about what was said. I sent it to you, right?
Yeah.
So this, I'm gonna see, what article am I going to go to? I'm going to talk about how Travis Scott is denying any awareness while he was on stage of the Astro World deaths. And he says that the artists kind of trust the professionals for safety. I'm sorry, excuse me. Now, while I'm in agreement with that, the artists trust the professionals for safety. You have to hire the right professionals. And when your name is on the festival, you have to hire the right professionals. You can't just say, oh, I'm not at fault because I trusted the professionals, when you are the person whose name is attached to this festival. I'm going to tell you just a few of his quotes that is it just me? Or are you just as surprised as I am that they let this fool even sit down and have this interview? That his attorneys...
I'm really upset because whoever his attorneys are, they are not, helping the situation at all. Even if you let him talk, at least you should have been present next to him and say, hey, you shouldn't be able, don't say that, don't answer that.
But to me, that gives me more reason to believe that he didn't tell his lawyers, or that his attorneys had counseled him against it, and he still decided, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do this interview. Because what he sounded like is a person who is trying to dodge responsibility, to me. Now, I don't know. You can tell me what you feel when you hear some of the things that he said during this interview with, say his name, the guy that interviewed
Charlemagne the God.
Charlemagne the
God.
Okay. He sat down with Charlemagne, and I know who Charlemagne is. I just don't know how to say his name because I'm not a fan.
Yeah. From the Breakfast Club, for our viewers that don't know.
Yeah. So Charlemagne and Travis Scott sat down to talk, and one of the questions was, did he feel like he should be held responsible for what happened at this festival? Travis Scott's answer was, as artists, you trust professionals for when things happen that people can leave safely. This night was just like a regular show. It felt like, to me, as far as the energy, people just showed up to have a good time, and something unfortunate happened, and we just need to figure out what that was. D, what was it? What was the unfortunate thing that happened that night?
Well, from what I've read and saw,
just give me the basic answer off the top of your head. At this concert, what was the one unfortunate thing that happened?
People died.
What do you mean? You trying to figure out what it was that was unfortunate that happened? That was the unfortunate thing that happened. People died.
I think he worded it wrong. I think that probably means like why it happened. But we kind of know what happened. Like the people that, were supposed to be on your team, the people that you hired, the people to hire the other people didn't do their due diligence. It was more than 50,000 people there.
But I mean, I'm not here to plead his case. What I'm saying is we're going to look at his words and see how he just hurt his own case. He hurt his own case.
Well, if
When
he
you say
start talking,
this sounds like you're being evasive. It sounds evasive. When you say, okay, the first sentence I expect you to say, as artists, you trust professionals for when things happen that people can leave safely. I get that. But when he said people just showed up to have a good time and something unfortunate happened, that doesn't sound like you understand. Even though you might have meant something else, what you said,
the words were poorly
yes,
chosen.
This was very poorly articulated. Very poorly articulated. This next one, Charlemagne the God. Oh, let me go pick up this comment first from Wind Whispers. If I can. Wind Whisper says, fans should be a priority. So I feel that yes, he should be held responsible. He should have stopped. Yeah. Now, when asked what his intent was behind having this interview, his answer was, I don't personally have an intent. To me, that first sentence, when you deconstruct it and somebody far more intelligent than me is going to sit down and deconstruct this statement. I don't personally have an intent. My intention is to make sure that my fans are getting the help that they need in this situation. That's why I did this and this and this, to make sure. Instead of, again, it looks like you swinging away from it. Am I reading this? Am I being too harsh in my judgment?
I don't think you're being too harsh. I just think that he shouldn't have said anything. And if he had said anything, he should have been prepped.
Yes, because I'm going to finish reading this. Girl, these headphones, everything is bothering me today. I'm having a bad day sitting here. He said, I just feel like something happened. And I feel like I just needed a way to kind of communicate. What was the something that happened, Travis? Then it says, when families are grieving, it's fans that are experiencing something. That don't make sense. Why are the families grieving? Why are we worried about what the fans are experiencing? We should be worried about what the families are experiencing. He said, I feel like I just have to. I've always been that person to always see things through with the people that share experiences with me. Again, lumping everybody in with him. He's part of that group too that didn't, that he's a victim. That's the way I'm reading it. And I know I'm being harsh, but somebody going to be a whole lot more harsh than me when they go over this. And, things happen. And I just it's been such a time and I've just been trying to figure things out. It sounds stupid. Things don't just happen. Things happen like I lose track of time for 7 hours and I'm not dressed when I'm sitting in front of the camera. That's a thing that can happen. The thing that happened here wasn't I didn't get in front of the camera in time and then 10 people died. That didn't happen. Tell me what you think, D.
It's such a loaded situation. The people dying are definitely the main issue, but they just didn't have what they needed for this to go on. Like the ticketing, the amount of tickets were in COVID. Like this
but
was
I'm still,
all
because that, and I don't want to sound like I'm being harsh, but that part we can't even do nothing about no more. We've already pre-gamed and we post-gamed on that.
Right. So like the thing is but these are all the causes and this was the effect. And
what is he talking about? Is my
no, you asked me what did I think, and I'm saying
but I'm asking you what you think about this.
I think that he should not have talked. But I think it was way more issues. But now everybody is. But the thing about it, you ain't seen Drake say nothing. He being sued, Live Nation. I haven't heard of them saying anything or doing any interviews. You know, now it's only when your money is being attached to this, or your livelihood is being attached to this, and you're in jeopardy of losing that. And now he could be compassionate. We don't know, because his words are not clear. It's just chopped up. Like I said, nobody, prepped him for any of this. And I just think that he should have been quiet, because it does look like you're just out for yourself, and you're trying to maybe pay for things so you won't, have so many lawsuits or lose so much money.
I mean, these lawsuits is we up to $10 billion, thousands of freaking defendants, or he the defendant. What's the other plaintiffs?
Yes.
It's just what I mean when I'm talking about his situation now. Like you said, he didn't have to say anything. He could have kept his mouth shut, let his lawyers do their jobs, and hopefully they would have to try to get in his head and figure him out. The prosecutors or whomever is going to be hearing the case.
Them that ammo.
He's
exactly. By talking, he's giving them all this ammo.
He gave them so much in just this statement. And I'm going to pick up these 3 comments, because I see Clarence has something that is really relevant right now. When Whisper said, rumors are that a famous YouTube figure was there behind the stage dancing, and that's one reason he didn't stop the concert. Clarence said his intent should be that he cares and he wants to show some compassion for the situation. So that's the first thing. Now, his second comment really hit me when he said he sounds like, I was there just like you, but dude, it's your event. Exactly. Even though he was the performer, he still had control over his set. For instance, this is not for me to be funny about the situation that happened over there in Edwardsville. Whose name are they talking about right now? When people are calling themselves aiming their fire at somebody, who they aiming at? Are they aiming it at the managers who was over the community of the distribution center, or are they name checking Jeff Bezos? That's what they do. When something is yours, the buck stops with your ass. The buck stops there. So this was yes, his intentions were good, and this is a function that he's put on for some years, and it's gotten a little bit more rowdy every year, right? So this is something he's done for years, but at the end of it all, when something goes wrong, you can't just be happy when things go right. When something goes wrong, people are going to expect you to have some answers. We got another slide, but I'm gonna pick up these three comments, D, before I move to the next slide. All right. When Whisper said, why did they even allow children there? I hold him totally responsible. Well, you know what? They build it as a family show.
Yeah, because it's not just a concert, it's a carnival type situation as well.
It's a fest. So I get why the kids were there, but if you call it something a family show, it really does need to be a family show. But that's just us arguing over what my idea of a family show is, and When Whispers, we're probably thinking about the same thing, but somebody else might be like, oh, at my family, we listen to Travis Scott together. So that might be something they would do as a family.
And the other thing I heard the father say to one of the victims is like, this music, while some kids certain age of kids shouldn't listen to this, like this stuff is on the video games. That's how that child got well versed in Travis Scott. It was on one of the, was it Call of Duty or something, or Grand Theft Auto, whatever.
Let's be real though, D. If and I don't want to get into this conversation, because then it sounds like we talking about raising kids. I ain't trying to do that. But if some of the stuff that this man talks about in his music, if your child was 10 years old, once you hear the song, how much responsibility is it of yours? Once you hear the song, can you say, if you're going to play this game, you need to turn it down. You don't need to hear all of that. Or you could say, give me this game until you get a little older. I didn't know all of this was in there. And Grand Theft Auto is not a game, even though my son played the game. That's not a game for children. It's just not. Especially not this brand of kids who don't even know. I can't say they don't know the difference, but they seem to not have a very callous attitude about life. When you got 15-year-olds out killing their classmates and that sort of thing. But that's another story for another day. I want to go to the next slide before I pick up everybody else's comment, because I don't remember where I was, but I'm going to get it. This last slide I got about him, about Travis Scott, is when he said it wasn't really until like minutes until the press conference that I figured out exactly what happened. Even after the show, I was just kind of hearing things, but I didn't know the exact details until minutes before the press conference. And even at that moment, you're kind of just like, wait, what? Like, you just went through something and you're just like, what? Okay. So here is how I'm going to deconstruct. I'm playing the prosecution in this. Here's how I'm going to deconstruct this statement, because this is stupid as hell too. And it just bothers me that this boy said all of this stupid stuff. It wasn't until minutes before, until the press conference, that he figured out exactly what happened. So the press conference comes on. He said, even after the show, I was just kind of hearing things. You were hearing things. What kind of things were you hearing? What were you told? Because now it sounds like you knew when the show was over that some shit happened at your concert, but we still find you at Dave and Buster's. You get what I'm saying? It sounds like you don't care. Then he said, you kind of just like, wait, what? Like you just went through something. What did you go through? He didn't go through anything. The people that was on the ground was who went through something. It sounds like he is very detached from what other people what other people feel. Give me your thoughts, D. You're nicer than I am. Give me.
It's not being nice. I'm just throwing out.
Yeah,
like I'm just throwing out the facts of what I know, because
right now I don't want your facts. When you hear this, what do you think?
I already said that he shouldn't have been talking, because
clearly, I'm talking about like this particular statement, because I don't want to make it sound, I don't want to feel like I'm just tearing this shit up the way, because you know how Tasha do. I can tear this statement up and just rip it to shreds. But if you have a softer opinion, or if you have a different opinion, or if you had the same freaking opinion, just tell me what you think about the words that were said.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, like, he shouldn't have talked, because this is not like, this statement right here don't make no sense. It's just like and what and wait and what. This shouldn't have been even said. He should. I've said it like 12 times. He shouldn't have had this conversation at all, because it's not saying anything. It's not saying I don't even think he said that he's sorry that this happened.
He can't.
I don't see.
You know,
that's
he
what
can't
I've
say
been
that.
trying to get at. It doesn't seem like when he's making these statements that he's sorry that this happened at all. I didn't watch it, but I heard about it, and it doesn't seem like he's sorry. It just seems like I said, when you have this amount of money and a tragedy happens, now it's like, oh shit, they coming after my money. So now you're trying to save face whichever way you can. So this is what that sounds like to me. He's just trying to get something out there, because he's getting hit whether he says something, whether he doesn't say anything.
Okay, but okay, you're HR. I'm in management. Most of us here work for somebody or have people working for us. We know that when something happens, you don't say I'm sorry. You don't admit fault. Even if you drove a car, you know that if you hit somebody, you don't get out the car and say my fault. you don't do it, you know. So okay, admitting fault is just like saying come take my money. But just because you can't say the two words, I'm sorry, because it's like admitting fault, what you can say can evoke a feeling of while you're still protecting yourself, it can evoke a feeling of compassion. And this is the least compassionate statement that I think I have ever heard. And it sounds like somebody gave him, okay, if you're going to do this, don't admit fault. That's why every time he says, wait, what? Or something like that, or he's stopping himself from saying something that would make him admit fault. That's part of it.
I don't think that's what that is. I think he just don't know how to put some words together.
No,
that's how they talk.
When you listen to it, besides me reading it, when you listen to it yourself, he does sound like he's trying to be contemplative of what he's saying. He can only go so far. But if you didn't have like if you didn't have a template of what to say, you shouldn't have said you keep coming back to, he should have never spoke. But we can't put the genie back in the bottle. He did speak. So now I'm not even an attorney and I can tear this shit to shreds. We in our people in the comments are tearing his statements to shreds. So
but I said everything that y'all saying. I'm just saying it in a different way.
No, but I'm asking you is for your opinion.
No, I'm not asking you. I said my opinion was that this seems like he did not care. He did. That's what I said. These words did not mean anything. This sounds like he's talking to a friend. That's how he would talk to a friend. Like and what, blah blah blah. Like
now, I do appreciate that part. Don't all of a sudden. Because we know how we kind of know now how Travis Scott talks, because I didn't know this kid even existed until a few months ago.
Oh, I've heard about it. I saw him when he went to the Super Bowl.
You told me about the Super Bowl thing. I don't even remember it.
That was the first time I had ever heard, and I had to get on the phone and call the boys and like, who is this flying through the air?
So yeah, okay, to hear him speak, I would rather hear him speak in the language, the way that he generally speaks, because it makes it sound more genuine. If I get up here and I sound like I'm reading off a teleprompter, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Reinhardt. One day he saw me with a script, and he talked about how you could just tell that I'm reading. You could tell the difference between me talking like I'm talking to you and me reading. I appreciate the fact that he didn't have like that tone of reading to his statement, but it was what he said, and I guess that's what I'm looking for. Like with him, or with this, you're sitting on the jury. Forget the fact that nobody should have let him talk. Forget the fact that the only thing you got to go by is these words. And okay, you've said it doesn't feel like compassion. It feels like, are you as a juror sitting on this, trying to figure out if you're about to award these people $10 billion, if you were sitting on that jury in that moment, what would you think these words mean? Because you're going to have the video as a juror. You're going to have the script as a juror. What would your feelings, where would you vote on that issue?
As a juror, like I don't know, because I will have to hear everything. So I can't definitively say, hey, I'm going to award them. They definitely belong. They should get money. It's not going to bring them back,
right?
But this is a lot more people's problem, not problem. Because that's just wrong. This is a lot more people that need to be held responsible other than him.
Oh, I definitely don't think he's by himself in this. So, but like you said, everybody else got sense enough to shut the up.
That's true. But like I said, those words did not seem like for me to just. I'm not gonna go in and just tear up every line. What I'm saying is, as an HR person, I'm going to say you did not, this was an improper statement. You shouldn't have made this statement. This does not sound like you were compassionate. This sounds like you were trying to cover your own behind. That's what I would say if I'm putting it in HR terms and I'm talking to that person behind the desk, and I'm behind the desk and I'm talking to that person. It's the way that I'm saying it. Maybe everybody doesn't like the way I'm saying it. But I'm saying the same thing.
Oh no, we're
Everybody,
not. I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not. I'm
I'm
saying
just
I
saying.
don't know if you're understanding what I was asking you to do. That was what.
Yeah, you said
That's
give
what.
my opinion, and I was
Yeah,
giving my
on this statement
opinion.
because. Okay, let me just break just one line down. That if I was a juror and I heard this one line, even after the show, I was just kind of hearing things, but I didn't know the exact details until minutes before the press conference. That sentence right there, it whatever you say, it kills your case. You knew before you went out and was hanging out with your buddies. I'm going to think of that when I hear that right after the show you went to Dave and Buster's, but you knew some shit had happened at your show. You might not have known everything or the exact details, but you knew something happened. Didn't even think to ask what happened. That's how much you care about these people who paid this money to come see
Again,
you.
again goes into there was no compassion, because if I had heard
Yeah,
something, I would have been like, "Hey, like what's going on?" I I have a story, but I'm not going to share it all out
yeah,
on the
right.
thing. But I'm just saying there was lack of compassion, and even like his people, whoever his people were, they should have been telling him from the beginning like what was going on and keeping him in the loop. It was just so many failed mechanisms, and he
When
was one of them.
I want you to listen to it, his interview whenever you get an opportunity, because it's a long, stupid interview.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Yeah, so listen to it because he also said somebody had told him that they needed to stop the show, and he said, but they also said after Drake finished. So
Mm,
like whoever his people in his corner
mm-hmm.
said, hey man, you need to stop the show, but wait till Drake gets through.
But
So I mean,
wasn't it a lady rapper, Sizzle? What's her
no,
name?
so SZA was there early.
And didn't she say like things were getting out of hand? I know y'all said that she was
She
sick.
she said she got sick and she left.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let me pick up the comments because we went off on our debate about what he said. He said Clarence said if he has done this for years, it seems like the degree of professionalism would get better over time. His team is either cutting corners or it's never been managed properly.
That's what I'm gearing. It was never managed properly, because if he was having these things where you was saying like he was raging, like
Hmm.
somebody should have said something to him a long time ago. But now everybody his camp wants to say something now. It's too late. Like this is what's happened.
They
And
allowed
it's
that to become his brand. So his
yeah.
whole brand is that raging shit. They
And
allowed it to become that brand, and now you pay for it. You pay for it because now the reputation is there. Uh, Wind Whisper said kids are going to hear it either at home or outside. We have parents that pick up their kids at school blaring "F the Cop" song.
that's true. That's true. Look, it's some songs that I went years without knowing the real words to, because I was not trying to let them hear those words to them songs.
Because they gonna use it at the first opportunity. They
And
gonna
then the
go and
crazy part is like they heard it when they was like with their cousins, and I'm like, and at school, and I'm like, hell, they
mhm.
knew about Facebook before I knew about Facebook.
But that's always kids gonna always they
I'm
gonna know
like,
the next best
what's Facebook?
thing. Now, Clarence said that I guess Travis Scott had his first live concert in Fortnite, which would probably be one of those games that you were talking about that kids would hear the songs in.
Yeah, his dad
And
said that's how he got to be a fan of Travis Scott. He
Travis
said
Scott
that he had never heard of him before then.
and Wind Whisper said, "Good point." She was telling Clarence, "Good point." She also went on to say he was told it was his concert. He just decided it wasn't that major and kept going and prevented most of this. His fame blinded him at the moment, and that's all he saw at that moment. I can almost agree with that too, especially since that whole Apple thing was going on. He was trying to, this is another deal that he's making with Apple where they're filming this for their documentary or whatever. Yeah, he probably saw if I stop the show, I stop my money.
That's true. And I'm gonna play devil's advocate like you do. If you look at this, way before he got on stage, it was this craziness going on. If you saw the pictures of people running over the security people that were at the front, that are at the metal detectors and things of that nature, like it should have been stopped there. But that's why I'm saying it's so many variables to this, because I think you were talking about how the promoters went over the mayor's head, or so it wasn't
What it was,
in the
it was Houston, the mayor of Houston, whoever that he has in control of doing of saying that they can use this or that. They said they did not want this concert again because of the last previous two times there had been some issues.
mm-hmm.
So they wasn't for it. But Harris County, which is where I live, and I don't know why this county is this way, don't ask me. But there's a judge that is pretty much over the mayor. So her team decided we're going to give these people the opportunity to use the stadium. Now, that's Harris County and in the city of Houston. City of Houston was like, we're going to give you guys some officers and to work security, a certain contingent, but this is not our show. This is the Harris County show. It's in the city of Houston, but Houston didn't want it there, basically.
Yeah. And somebody should have sat down with them and let them. I think the mayor said he did. The mayor, I think I remember him saying at a press conference that he explained his concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And that should have, but when you hire mediocre security, like there was no chance this was going to happen, because nobody was on the same page. Everybody went over everybody trying to get stuff done. And then they took the cheap route to do things,
right.
The very bare minimum to do things with security and things of that nature. Because in that one video, you see like the security guy, like he fighting with the people, like swinging
as they was as they
was coming in and running him over.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been it right there. But
that's
everybody
what I'm saying.
had their money.
I
like
understood that
greed.
somebody else they said this is not the first time that this is the way things go down at a Travis Scott concert. This is it. I don't know, because of course, like I said, I've been ignorant of this man. I didn't know he even was a thing.
We ain't gonna be there.
What did Wind Whisper say? Even when talking amongst friends, you show remorse in your words. He shows none. Right.
It depends
Stacey
on
said,
what type of
can't
friends
get a
you
drink
got.
from an empty cup, girl. And that right there is for 100. Can't get a drink from an empty cup.
That's why that's why they suing everybody, Apple, Drake, him, Live Nation. Because they like, whatever cup is empty, we gonna move to the next cup.
There are other cups. Wind Whispers, when I asked if you were on the jury, and just hearing these few statements, what would you think? And you said you didn't know. Wind Whisper said guilty.
Yeah, she got the hammer. I see the hammer. Put the hammer down.
Clarence said agreed. Yeah. It's about accountability. Wind Whispers again says, make believe you have no HR experience and answer. We should have been going through we should have been going through the comments as we were having a conversation. But even
if I didn't have HR issues, that I had two boys, I had to do that with them. Just to find out who did what.
And Stacey said, rage sounds like temper tantrums to me.
No, that's not what that means in this day and age, Miss Stacey.
Clarence said they were making a documentary. That's going to be a very different documentary. I thought that too, Clarence. I promise. I was like, the only people who winning in this is Apple, because now they got, it was supposed to be this music document. I mean, the documentary covering the music and the concert and this. Now look at what you've got on, you have got the only reliable record of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much money is that documentary going to be worth?
Now, it was something on Hulu And I
took it down.
halfway watched it, but I went to sleep. And
They took it down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The next time I went to look for it, they took it down.
Because it was too quick. Angus said, there's a Zen meditation practice that's drinking from an empty cup. He said, hi, I'm late again. Sorry. Oh, come whenever you feel
It's
like
okay.
it. We're open. We're still open.
We was late.
You were about to say you missed the shenanigans. It was a whole strip show in here for a second.
It's just everybody needs to take some accountability. I bet this happening, hopefully everybody will not fact check, but follow up with each other, and they're gonna come together in a room and make sure that this situation is airtight for safety reasons. Because as a place that I work at, safety is supposed to always be first,
paramount, right?
So, you go with the safety, you go with who is like, you making millions of money. I don't understand why you have mediocre security. You should have medics out there, several with all these people. You should be able to accommodate if anything happens out of the ordinary, but nothing, something of this magnitude, you
never
can't prepare for, but at least.
That's the issue too, D. Just like we were talking about how the state of Houston, the state of Texas still hasn't addressed the things, because the first time they feel like, oh, that was a fluke.
Yeah.
So
and
now
I guess the first 2 times this was a fluke.
Yeah, they said, it was a fluke. That's not something that's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
He gets people rowdy, but it won't never get worse than that. All he had to do is tell them to stop or whatever. But we see how bad things got. So they probably had great security when he first started touring, and then they realized, oh, nothing is happening, so we can kind of relax a little. We don't have to have great security. We can just get some bodies in here to, and the day that you really needed the real thing, you don't have it.
Yeah. And then that was when, you're supposed to say, hey, we got a contract with you all, and everything is listed in this contract of what you're supposed to do. And if you breach this contract, then you're going to be held liable. But
I'm pretty sure they did it.
No, like being trained, trained. They need to be specific with going forward. Whenever he has another concert, if I was him, I wouldn't want another concert.
I was gonna say, if he has another one, I would. If his career survives this, I would never do another live show again. Everything would be virtual. Talking about Fortnite or whatever you had your live concert. That's how you would see me.
But that's not gonna happen. They thinking that it'll blow over. Maybe about another year or so, and then people gonna forget about it because they're gonna be like, yeah, people pass away. And this is how people think. This is not because this ain't gonna make me want to go to a Travis Scott concert because I didn't want to go before. But if he survives, there's gonna be another concert, and he's going to have people that's gonna go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he's already got a bunch of defenders right now, and I'm not trying to beat up on him to the point where it looks like I think that he is solely rests on his shoulders.
Yeah.
My thing is this: he did a stupid interview.
Yeah.
This interview is going to kick his ass. It's going to come back to bite him in the butt.
They're going to play it back and forth.
Starts. And just everything that he said just kind of makes you feel like what you think about him is true. Yeah. I'm gonna move on.
Makes him look horrible.
I'm gonna stay in kind of celebrity land for a while though, but I'm going to move to the next subject. I know we stayed on Travis Scott for a while. We're gonna talk about Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. He's yet to be sentenced.
We knew he was
guilty of faking a hate crime attack against himself nearly 3 years ago, but the Empire actor isn't over fighting this case. So Jussie Smollett says,
"Justice for Jussie.
I'm appealing this thing.
He need to let it go."
Tell me why, D.
Because who was Dave Chappelle talked about justice for Jussie. He said, "Look," and I'm paraphrasing, Black people said that we was quiet because we know that we was clearly lying. Like, you know, we knew this because I go over to Illinois very frequently when I was living at home.
Yeah,
and you did not see a lot of white people walking at 1-2 o'clock in the morning. That's one. And then you gonna add the mega hats. And then how do they don't even probably know who you are. And
exactly.
then
Why do they even care?
yeah, and then they gonna just automatically attack you because you're gay. How did they know these things? Like, where'd you get this from? And then you got these other 3 people that said, hey, he paid us. I think you need to take this and be quiet.
Exactly. I'm gonna read a little bit of the article from Deadline. We ain't gonna stay on this for too long. I'm just saying, Jussie Smollett has been found guilty for faking this hate crime, like we said, and his defense attorney Nanye Uche said that you can't say Jussie is lying and say Jussie is not lying for the exact same incidents. I don't know what that means. The whole world, or now I ain't gonna say the whole world, but definitely the Black people in that region knew this man was lying. She said, we feel 100% confident that this case will be won on appeal. Unfortunately, that's not a route we wanted, but sometimes that's the route you have to take to win. This dude says, I'm trying. Oh, I guess I can go to that he is also being sued by the city of Chicago.
Yeah, was it 140,000 or 130,000?
Yeah, so they seek 130,000 or in that neighborhood because they used resources looking for his imaginary attacker.
Yep.
And again, just like to piggyback off of D, we live there. We're from that area. First of all, Chicago is a notoriously Democratic city. It's notoriously Democratic. They're I can't say that they wouldn't be any MAGA hats, but they certainly would not be walking around at night with bleach. Just happen to have some bleach handy and a noose and the MAGA hats. They would be basically committing suicide.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't be hard to find them.
When the story came out, I'm like, okay, he's either lying or they was just real light skinned or they were some Mexicans or something, but they wasn't white.
And Tasha, if they had been there, they would have been running because they would have been chased.
Exactly. Now, the only way that you was going to get hurt by some white guys walking around in the middle of freaking Chicago in the middle of the night with MAGA hats and baseball bats and bleach, the only way that you was going to get hurt is if you got in their way as they was running away from the people that was coming to attack them. I'm sorry. Yeah. We never bought it.
And I'm like, you using all your resources and your money to fight this, and you should just go sit down. L. See, this right here is clear cut. Yeah. Our other situation is
take this L.
But this right here, and he just won't say. He just like, no, this happened. Maybe they need to check him. Maybe something going on up there.
So they asked him why. Before we move to the next idiot, okay, because we got another idiot coming behind him. So before we move on to the next idiot, they asked him, okay, so why did you give those Osendero brothers, the guys who jumped them and turned on him, and in the end they snitched? I ain't gonna say, I hate the word. They told the truth. They told the truth
to their knowledge.
Yeah. So they were like, well, why did you give them that money? And he said, well, I was being fat shamed by Lee Daniels. He said he was being fat shamed by Lee Daniels. So he gave them the money to train him. I don't remember. I don't ever remember him being. I don't ever remember him being fat. Was he fat
I don't remember because he was always taking his clothes off in Empire, got
on
his shirt
Empire?
open.
Yeah. Every chance you got, you taking your clothes off. So I'm figuring you was okay with your body. You felt a little insecure. You were
Didn't
fat
look like
shamed
it
by
to
Lee
me.
Daniels. Hmm.
I said it didn't look like he was fat to me.
Well, to me, it's just like this. This man is burning bridges behind him. Like he is not going to have zero escape route because every time it seems like you could just, as Clarence so aptly put it, you could have just took the L. Anytime you could have just took the L, you throw somebody else in the fire. You
This
know,
shouldn't even went to court. I've been like, let's plead this out right now.
yes. There is no way, none whatsoever, that I would have let this shit get on TV and shit. No. You're not about to embarrass me, my mama. We're not going to do that. No.
And what is Wind Whispers? She's laughing. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
laughing
which
at
part
us.
I guess she laughing at us.
Yeah. Lysandra said he wasn't that fat. He had a nice
No.
body.
Yeah. And then Miss Stacy, she's like, his
His
head was
head
fat.
was. Well,
Oh.
I don't know. He is definitely, yeah, he definitely told some tales. And you know, before we go on, I know I said this a second ago. This is his first criminal offense.
Yeah, he wouldn't have probably got no time.
None whatsoever. He would have got no time. He probably would have got some probation or some shit and be done with it. Instead,
Make your payment plan.
you making people pissed off right now. The more you talk, the more shit you say, the more you stay in the news and stuff. Like you're gonna appeal this. Why? When you are clearly guilty of what these people said that you did. I don't. We was talking earlier. We're not gonna uphold you in your wrongdoing, Jussie. We're not.
Nope. We just gonna be like a good sister, and we gonna be, there. But if you did it, you did it.
You did it. Dang it. Yep. Do the crime. Do the time. Shit. Speaking of doing time, Josh Duggar.
Oh boy.
Former 19 years and counting star Josh Duggar, 33 years old, was convicted on 2 counts of receiving and possessing child pornography. It took a Fayetteville, Arkansas jury 1 day to deliver the verdict. And they only used that day because they wanted to get their meals from the state. Be like, well, shit, they're going to pay for lunch tomorrow. We got to go ahead and see you later, Clarence.
Bye,
Have a great day. So, yeah. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah. It's like, dude, what the heck was you thinking? 1 day to deliver the verdict because they wanted the doggone whatever meal you get when you're on jury duty. They wanted to make it good. They was order something really good that day. So Duggar was among the family members who appeared on that one show, 19 Kids and Counting, until the network pulled the show in 2015 after it was revealed that he had molested 4 of his sisters and another girl. So now I don't remember or recall how it went down. How it went down that he was caught with this pornography and stuff. And how did he get away with this initial molestation of his sisters and this other child? But wouldn't you just disappear? Wouldn't you just blend into
the concrete?
What'd you say?
Blend into the concrete.
Anything.
But it's interesting because I didn't hear about his parents. Oh goodness. Like, because I remember this show and I just watched it because it was like the weirdest thing. He just kept having children and then they kept multiplying. But I'm wondering, I'm like, it's just hard for me to believe that nobody knew what was going on.
And yeah, I guess when you got that many children and there's this huge span between the ages or whatever, it is kind of hard to get lost, or kind of easy to get lost in the shuffle of this huge family like that. Maybe things could go on like that when you got 20 people or whatever to look after. That's I can't imagine.
It's like you
Um,
destroyed your family, your base, and then you got. I think he got married. I remember he had got married, and I think
yeah,
he had kids. So like you
7 of his own children, and I mean, a
7.
person who is a molester, would you molest your own children? You've already molested your sisters, so that's a question that I would have too. Oh, wait a minute.
Whoa!
She's
I didn't hear
Yeah, I
about
didn't know
that.
that when whispers.
Didn't hear about that one.
Yeah. And,
Because
and,
I
and
was thinking about saying something about the parents. It's like, how much did they know? Because you haven't seen them talk too much, or at least I haven't seen them talk too much. And then, like, I was reading this statement, here, because I'm wondering, like, how do you not know? Like, and then you just said they put locks on the doors.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if he gets the 20 years that he's facing, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
And will forever have the, I guess, stigma of being
Oh, his dad is running for a Senate seat.
yeah, but I mean, his daddy knew that. He knew that his son was facing all this bullshit before he even decided, I'm sure.
But he probably thought, like a lot of people think, they're not going to get caught.
You know what? He probably thought he was going to get off. You're right. He probably thought that he won't go to prison.
Yeah.
You're right.
I and I would not be running
I wouldn't either.
for this
Because
stuff.
because of
This
this, they're
this
about to dig
clear-
up, huh?
this clearly tells you the arrogance
Mm-hmm.
and the
The hubris.
audacity of people, that they think that this is gonna go away. Like, and they thought that he's gonna win this seat. If he wins this seat, which I wouldn't be surprised, because it's Arkansas.
Right.
And I hate to say that about Arkansas, but we know the history, and it's not a good history.
Right.
If he wins, like, this is like, because like now I'm thinking, like, okay, will he have any say so about, maybe getting his son out early? Any influence?
That's the problem. That's a problem. I ain't gonna say it's the problem, but it could be a problem, because you know that the governor can pardon people. So
Yes.
if he's running for Senate, yes, he would have the governor's ear. And if so yeah, I guess you
Right.
could, if you were to get that seat, wield some power over a person who was politically under you. And you could say, do me this favor, do me a solid, pardon my son. And they can do it.
Wow. Well, we saw that happen already with what's his name? Barr. What's his name? Last name Barr. Trump's guy.
Yeah, Bill Barr. That was presidential pardons, so that was different. I can understand. I can't understand who he was trying to pardon, but that's a power that they've always given to the president. The president has the power to do it.
I know, but it just felt like that was a conflict of interest. Like,
yeah, but that wasn't figured for. We never planned, or I guess even anticipated that somebody would do all of this stuff, but I don't want to get hang out in politics for too damn long either. But yeah, I mean, it's just like one more political thing. Don't hate me, but it's just like Lil Wayne. He got himself pardoned by Trump, and I believe it was for a political favor, and the political favor was for Lil Wayne to say that he was going to vote for Trump. So if you tell me you're going to vote for me and give me some money, I will give you the pardon. And that's what happened.
Yeah. What did Whisper says this isn't his second time? Or do you mean that's not his first time? Or you meaning this has
No,
happened
this
way
this ain't
more?
his second time because she said the
Jane Doe from
sisters Jane Doe
church.
from church, and now this. So this is I'm not going to even call
This
it the
is his
second
thing.
time. This is like your 8th to 10th or 12th, and this is what you
Yeah.
got caught for. I'm pretty sure there are other people who are even keeping their mouth shut because they don't want to be dragged through the mud if the Duggars decide to go and sling mud. If where there's smoke, there's fire. If you
Yeah.
did that to your sisters and Jane Doe at church, and now you have this pornography, trust and believe there is somebody else out there that you didn't touch. He's out here diddling these kids on his as far as and using probably the church as a cover because
I
you know
just I
the
just
whole hmm?
I just pray, that, any of these people that were impacted, that they get the help that they need and be able to live out the rest of their life, as they see fit,
Yeah,
hopefully happily. Whew.
yeah.
Girl, I've been beating him half to death
Oh yeah.
as his mother.
I would have as a sister.
He probably wouldn't even made it to trial.
Okay, and damn, I
Woo.
said I was gonna stay out of politics, and then our next freaking subject is it ain't political, but I'm pretty sure it can be construed that way. And this is the story about Brian Williams leaving the 11th hour on MSNBC. So his sign off, his final sign off included these quotes that one of his biggest worries, okay, he said, "My biggest worry is for my country. The truth is, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm an institutionalist," he said. "I believe in this place, and in my love of country, I yield to no one. But the darkness on the edge of town has spread to the main roads and highways and neighborhoods. It is now at the local bar and the bowling alley, at the school board and the grocery store, and it must be acknowledged and answered for." And I thought that was a very that was a very
Ooh,
eloquent. Oh
that says so much.
yeah. Now, even though Brian Williams is not without at least one controversy that marked his otherwise brilliant career, but he hopefully he's going to do something else in news because the presence of somebody, it is always I guess it's always a heartening feeling to know that there's somebody who can say the right thing, who can kind of soothe you, who knows that they're on your side. That used to be Dan Rather, that
Mm.
used to be what's the black one's name? Ahmad Rashad. There
Uh,
used to be people like that. Now um Brian Williams and my only question is who got next because somebody has to step into that spot. Who is that going to be? It can be a woman, don't have to be a male, anchor. But what do you think about number one about Brian Williams leaving that spot? He wasn't supposed to stay there that long. He was the show that he was on was only supposed to be on during the election and in 2016. he's been doing this for 5 years after the
mm,
amount of time that he was supposed to stop. So what you think, D?
I'm really wondering why he stopped. And like this statement is such a loaded, it's so loaded. Like while you were reading it, I just felt it just all up in my chest because he's recognizing that that's a problem and it's just not in one place. He's naming every place. So
Mm-hmm.
basically saying it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is has spread.
And it seems like his heart is heavy about it. Um I have not kept up with MS NBC, so I was not aware of his talk show. But he's always seemed, if I can remember correctly, I've never. You said there's some other things that he's done that had some controversy.
Yeah,
But it seems like he's always been able to get his point across in this manner right here.
Mm-hmm. His situation was, and I can't remember. Some years ago, he misrepresented an experience that he had when we were fighting. I believe when we were fighting the Gulf War, he misrepresented some things, and of course, that goes to the integrity of the reporter. He said some shit that wasn't true,
Now that you said that, I think I remember something about it.
And then he basically he disappeared for a little bit. I think he had gotten suspended or whatever. And then when he came back with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm. See that he took his L's and he just went and sat down.
He bounced back from it. It can happen. Jussie. Stacy said, "This makes me cry all over again. I was a victim from a family member. Very sorry about that. The wounds are always raw and threatening, so I helped bust 2 other families who did this stuff to other kids." Well, the world needs more Wonder Women like you,
I'm
Stacy.
so glad you had the courage to, say something.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
When Whispers said, "I'm sorry, Stacy. If I had known, I wouldn't have said anything regarding that topic." Stacy also said, "No, it's tough, but good to face the demons, and thank you for your care." Well, thank you for
sharing.
Yeah, for sharing that. Even though it's a shame that these things, gosh, I tell you. Oh, another thing that Brian Williams said in his sign off that day was grown men and women who swore an oath to our Constitution, elected by their constituents, possessing the kind of college degrees I could only dream of, have decided to join the mob and become something they are not, while hoping we somehow forget who they were. They've decided to burn it all down with us inside. So the man was spitting like so again, I'm gonna miss the man on that MSNBC show. My daddy's for those of you guys my father passed away this year, but one of his favorite things in the whole flipping world, and when I say the whole world, he probably liked MSNBC more than he liked my ass.
Don't say that, Ty. Don't say that about Walk Baby Love.
Yeah, but that man loved MSNBC, and he loved all of those shows, like especially this 11th Hour with Brian Williams.
Wow.
So I guess we can move to the next one. We're all caught up on the next one is going to be about Peacock at Universal. Yeah. So the team at Universal Film Entertainment Group are fantastic partners, and Peacock and Peacock is excited to bring their amazing slate of blockbuster films and beloved franchises to Peacock as early as 45 days after their theatrical release, and provide a steady stream of fresh original films exclusively for Peacock customers throughout the year.
And some premium. That's that premium stuff that they're gonna charge you for.
Exactly. No, while this was important, why it was important is that they have Universal has fallen because they said, you know what, we're gonna just put all our movies over here on Peacock as we release movies. So when their 45-day theatrical run ends, now that we talked about how that theatrical window is shorter now. So after 45 days of being in the theaters, it's going to go, Universal's movies will go to Peacock. Okay, so we've established that. Sony is still out here. Are they the last one standing? They might even be the last ones without us streaming service. And and they are saying to us, the customers, the fans, we not gonna send our shit to no streaming service real quick. You're gonna be able to get the theatrical experience for 60 to 90 days, and we will decide what streaming service we send it to. And I think that gives them a lot of leverage. I don't know. A lot of leverage as far as like the negotiating of these types of conversations with streaming services. I can send my shit to Sony, or I might want to just go ahead and send it to Netflix, or I could make a deal with Amazon and send my stuff there. The movie that I reviewed last night was a Sony film. It was just on Amazon. So it's just, these are the things I'm like, having the streaming service is great, but not having one it kind of puts you in a better position, to me. Let me know what you feeling about.
I'm wondering, is all this that COVID changed a lot of this?
It did. It sped things up.
Right. And so I think that they're probably just saying, hey, like, maybe moviegoers are not going as much, especially with this other strain that's like really, supposed to be really bad. Like, I'm thinking that they're trying to get their money each way, any way they go. Yeah. And you said like Universal is like, they're I don't know if it's their quality or their viewers are going down. So they're trying to, revive themselves some, and going with Peacock, which that I think that might have been a good move, because everybody is going with either HBO Max, HBO, or Amazon, or what's the other one, Disney. So they're trying to maybe make it a little bit maybe more affordable, or give someone else that chance they could partner with. I don't know if it was with the pricing. I don't know what was the reason why they went with Peacock, but it just seemed like it's a lot of stuff going on with the COVID. It changed the game. Like,
it did definitely change the game. The way we go to the movies, the way movies are even distributed, the way they're watched, a lot changed. People became very dependent on Netflix, on your streaming services during the beginnings of the outbreak. But one of the things that you said is like, this could be a great deal, and it's a wonderful deal for Universal. So Universal, because I'm sure Peacock had to give Universal some amount of money up front. Basically, we're gonna pay you so that you'll send your movies to us first. So okay, they gave them the money. Peacock is only going to be as successful as Universal as this being lucrative as the movies that come out of Universal. And it's going to be interesting to see if this thing becomes it's mutually beneficial, instead of it just being Universal basically got the bag, Peacock basically fumbled the bag.
I think they probably went with Peacock because it's more to get it, because it's a lot of people, like, I didn't really know about Peacock. So maybe to get the name out there more and to get more subscribers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if Universal's movies are shitty, ain't nobody gonna subscribe just because they want to watch a Universal movie. You know what I'm saying? But if Universal puts out a slate of stellar films, even in the first half of next year, if they just keep hitting it out the park, which I have, and I'm not going to say that it can't happen, I just haven't heard anything big from Universal recently. Now, if they knock it out the park for the first 6 months of next year, Peacock could be in the place where they want to be as far as paid subscribers, because that's what, that's another thing that you said, that's what they want. They want the paid subscriber. They're giving you the free stuff. They want you to they want some people to put some money behind it. And that hadn't been happening, but it could happen. And this could be a very good deal for both of them.
Yeah. But somebody got to get a good quality of movie.
Right. It's the movie. And I want to see if
Because I'm
if there's any
wondering,
films.
like what the fee is gonna be like. Are they gonna be? Is it gonna be like $30? I think like HBO Max is like $30, or is that not HBO? What was that, Disney?
Yeah.
Theirs was like $30 when
When
to
you wanted
stream
to
it, to see the
that same day
streaming.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is well, you know, D, I'm a little bit wrong. I'm wrong because in 2021, Universal did have a couple bangers, a few bangers in here. Universal did the Forever Purge, which we know those Purge movies usually do pretty well. They did Old,
That's something else.
the movie Old from M. Night Shyamalan.
Mhm.
Halloween Kills, that even though the movie was boo boo, people came out to see it.
I went to see.
I did too.
And I liked it.
Fast 9 was a Universal release.
Okay.
Thing 2 is going to be a Universal release. Candyman, which again was a mediocre kind of movie to me, but people loved it. People loved it, so
yeah,
that was
I watched that too.
So girl, look.
They tried.
I was wrong. This could be a very mutually beneficial right out the gates, because I haven't even talked about next year. And there's some movies. Now, I want you to tell me if it's a couple that you remember.
Okay.
The 355.
No, that
Easter
doesn't
Sunday. A movie called Nope. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
That's Shrek-ish.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The Black Phone. Did you see that preview for that movie?
I think we were talking about it.
Yeah.
So yes. That looked like that's gonna be good.
Yep. The Bad Guys, Bros. I don't know about those two. I don't remember hearing about what they're about. Halloween Ends, which I'm going to see, of course.
Yeah.
Marry Me. I don't know about that. Jurassic World Dominion. Definitely want to see that.
That's gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
Here.
Beast. I don't know what that is. Ticket to Paradise. I don't know what that is. But Ambulance, I do know what that one is. That one has Yaya in it, I believe. Is it Yaya that's in that movie?
I'm trying to see.
It's Yaya and look, I'm about to say Yaya and a white boy. But the white young man, I know his name.
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Jake, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so him and Yaya are in Ambulance, and I want to see that. Minions, another Minions movie is coming out.
That's gonna be a good one. That's for the kids. I'll be there for that one. I like the Minions. They're so cute.
So if these movies are if they are even decent.
Wait a minute, Wale is in Ambulance.
Huh?
Wale is in Ambulance.
I didn't know Wale was in there, but of course they're not talking about him. They talking about them two leads. I didn't know Wale was gonna be in that.
Yeah, I looked up the cast and I see him. And then there's another lady of color. Her name is Moses Ingram. Never heard of her.
I don't know her either. I would have to see a face.
Yeah.
When Whisper said, I think cable is slowly moving into the streaming apps. Yeah. It's like so many people
nobody want cable no more.
Right. Because now you just remember, and I don't know how old everybody in the crowd, I know how old some of you are, but like we can remember, I'm pretty sure, when we started paying for cable ourselves in our homes or whatever, and you have 1,000,003 channels, but it still wasn't shit on.
The same stuff on all the time.
Yeah, so it was like, why should I? If I want to watch the same movie over and over, at least let it be the movie that I'm choosing, saying, you know what, I'm going to keep watching Avengers Endgame and crying in all the same spots, because that's what I do. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. I do that. So yeah, look, Lasage say cable is $325.
It's at least half of that.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Again, yeah. Depends on what you paying for.
Yes, because I'm telling you, my mom was just fussing about that bill the other day. She said, "You know what? This is what your daddy want. I'm gonna just pay this $200, and that's what he go watch, because that's what he like. All his channels. He got the sports channel, the whole package, and everything.
Yep.
And that's crazy, because now you got NBA TV,
Yeah.
you got Apple TV.
You don't have to have cable, period, if you don't want it.
No, you don't. But you're gonna pay you're gonna pay the same amount, but at least you get to pick what you
Yeah,
what
you are
want.
watching what you want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And especially we went over this before as we was talking about, especially if you got kids. If you got kids and you got the Disney Channel, Disney Plus, whatever that is, that's it. You covered.
Yeah.
Until Bob Chapek gets his way and they start putting
R-rated movies.
Yeah, R-rated movies on there. Right now, you could put that on and disappear for at least a couple of hours. They can watch. It's movies, or it's content that's not going to be harmful. Yeah, turn that on while you cook or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Disney would be perfect for a family with young children. But here we are, still paying for cable. Some of us, not me. I ain't had cable in a long time. And if I keep on fucking around, I'm not gonna have internet. I got to get unbroke real quick. But that's another story for another day. We're gonna move on to the next story. Unless you got something else for that Universal Peacock deal.
No.
We're gonna continue to hang out in Peacock Land, NBC.
In Peacock Land.
We find out that Jake Colburn, Emilio Ortega Aldrich, God, there's my mouth not doing what I'm asking it to do, and Julie Plec. They've sold another project. They're working again with NBC on a show called Sky on Fire, which comes from their Plex, my so-called company, and Universal TV. So Universal will be having this show on I guess Peacock and NBC. And the reason why that was of interest to me was what the premise of the show is. It's a presidential assassination thriller.
Yeah.
And let's see, stuff like that, especially if it's going over a matter of days and they're trying to figure out who did it or however that goes, I'm here for it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit more of the article before we talk about it just a little bit more, because it says the drama centers around President Eva Ortiz, a decorated war veteran and the nation's first Latina president, who, after surviving an assassination attempt, embarks on an undercover mission to expose the people responsible. It comes after Quantico executive producer Colburn struck a first-look deal with Universal Television in September. Now, so that's the same week that the Endgame was picked up as a series. So he's got that series as well coming to NBC and Peacock by proxy,
Okay.
But yeah, the show is being developed for NBC, like I just said, but the company is moving further into streaming with Peacock. So projects will usually land there kind of almost simultaneously, not all the time simultaneously, but almost simultaneously. So I'm looking forward to this, D.
I'll watch that. I also watch that. Anything that comes on about any type of presidential assassination, I'm looking at it. It's something on there. Oh God, with the guy that plays in John Wick, he's the concierge. He does something about secrets. Oh goodness, I can't. It's a show, but it's something about the secrets of like the
you're talking about it come on Netflix.
And is it on Netflix?
Is it on Netflix? Or am I thinking of something different?
Don't think it's on Netflix.
There was a show.
He's talking. They talk about, like, it's just so fascinating how they put the automobiles together. They're bulletproof, and how they are setups. Like if there's an explosion, like they talk about all the stuff.
Yeah, I think it is on. I think it's got to be. Where did you say you watch it?
I can't remember where I watched it,
Okay,
because he talks about more than just those things.
I know what you're talking about. I know what show you're talking about for certain.
I
like that show. Yeah, I like those kinds of docu series.
Yes,
and those are ones that they keep coming back with. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, this right here, I can see myself putting it on the list. The list. My list for watching this stuff is not a long one, because I'm not about to invest my time in a whole lot of series. So that if I say, okay, I got a little interest in this thing, then it's got to be kind of decent, or at least a decent concept.
Any conspiracy theory, I am on it.
Yep. All right, let's move to, because we staying in streaming, I think.
Okay.
Cowboy Bye-Bye.
Yeah,
you remember that show?
I've been seeing this. I wasn't so excited about this.
There, because, and I'm not an anime person, so that's where I got a huge anime deficit. So if you're an anime fan, you might be able to help me out. What the hubbub was? I know that Cowboy Bebop was insanely popular as an anime. Well, they decided they was going to do the live action version of it, and the fans was like, "Oh no, thank you." No, thank you. We do not need it. And that thing got canceled. It's only been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've
and
been
Netflix
seeing
already said bye-bye.
Jeez, they didn't even get a chance to.
Yes, it ain't even been a month, D. It came out on November 19th on Netflix. They've already canceled it.
I'm trying to look at this cast. I know that the guy, his name is Mustafa.
Mustafa Shakir.
Yeah, he was on Luke Cage.
Who else?
I don't know any of these other people.
Cho. What is his first name?
John.
Yeah.
Oh, now, okay. I remember him.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm kind of familiar with him.
And the lady Tamara Tooney, she was on Law and Order. She was the oh God, I'm not the pathologist, but she was in the morgue. She was, giving analysts to the dead people and stuff like that, doing the autopsies and stuff.
Okay.
The black lady. You ever watch Law? I know you didn't watch
Law and Order. Yeah, the lady. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but girl, y'all got to excuse me. It's starting to kick in. Shoot. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know her real name. What you say her real name was?
Tamara Tooney.
Oh, why that name that don't jump out at me as much as that lady has been in?
I know.
And how long she's been around the
yes,
the game.
I just seen something that she was in the other day.
Girl, it was a lady. Now wait a minute, what movie or show was I watching? And that lady was in it, and I was trying to put my finger on where I knew her from, and that's who it was. I can't remember what show it was I was watching. Was that Harlem? Was that Harlem that she was in?
Yes.
I knew. I was like, I kept looking. I was like, why do I know her face? Where does she play? Yes, that was her. She just looked. She looks the same. She's still extremely gorgeous.
She is. I'm gonna tell you what other thing she was in. I just realized it. Devil's Advocate.
Who was she in The Devil's Advocate?
She was one of them women.
She sure the fuck was.
Yes.
Girl, you're right. Because that was one of my favorite Keanu movies.
Yes.
When Al Pacino's with his monologue when he was going on.
Yes.
Girl, you're gonna make me find that freaking movie and watch it.
That's one of my mama's favorite movies.
Girl, you about to make me watch that movie. I forgot. Yes, she was. She was one of those little demons.
And she was also in Flight with Denzel Washington back in 2012.
I don't remember the movie. I know I had to have seen it.
I
You
don't think
watched
I saw
Harlem
that.
too, Lysandra? 'Cause I think that's going on the list. we're
Yes,
gonna have to. We're gonna
Sandra.
have to
I done
like talk
watched the
about the.
whole thing.
You
I
watched it
watched.
all too.
I watched it all.
Yeah, you told me that. So yeah, we that might be one we can just break it down on one episode. Maybe tomorrow we can. Oh shit, D. You know what? Remember when
I
I
ain't
was
gonna be here
saying? Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's what I said. Remember when I was saying that we're gonna have a special day where we'll just talk about uh the movies, the two movies that you was talking about,
Oh,
Bruised
bruised.
and Unforgivable. And then maybe we can throw Harlem in there too and just have a special day to talk about that. You're off on
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
you're off on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Maybe we can make it next week, Friday in the like earlier than the oh hell no, I forgot that's next week Friday is
Oh
Spider-Man,
yeah,
huh?
not no. We got to do Spider-Man. Matter of
We're
fact,
gonna figure it out. We
I
can put
meant
our
to go
heads
get my
together and
ticket
figure out.
today. God dog
Hmm?
it. I meant to go get my ticket today.
Oh, for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Lysandra, how did you like Harlem? Because I liked it far more than I had any business. Far more than I had any business liking it. But here I am talking about some doggone freaking Harlem.
Now it doesn't have her listed in that Harlem.
Was
Mm,
that her that played his mama?
mm, mm.
That wasn't her.
Jasmine Guy was in that thing though.
Girl, Jasmine Guy. She's playing her role. She's doing exactly what I expect her to do as
But
in
she
that
was
role.
way more sophisticated.
Oh
The
yeah, she's an
usually see her,
actress.
we
Oh,
see her. She more reminded me of kind of like a little bit of how she was in Harlem Nights, because she was like this elegant figure, and I'm like that hair was laid, and she had them
mm-hmm.
slick comments. I said, "Ooh wee."
Bad Mama Jamma. Bad Mama Jamma.
Yes.
We sticking and streaming, D.
All right.
We going back to streaming one more again. Paramount
Yes.
Plus. Now
Oh,
I
okay.
am not a gamer.
Me
Oh shoot, I
either.
hate that Clarence is gone. Because remember that slide I told you I was putting in there just for him?
Yes.
Oh, I wish I would have thought about it. I would have went to that first. But anyhow, I'm not a gamer, but Halo is coming out, Paramount Plus. So if you're a gamer, I'm guessing that might be exciting to you. I did see the trailer, and let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you, I'm not a gamer, but this looks like it might just be action heavy enough for me that it wouldn't matter that I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know what the story of the game of Halo is.
I'm
You
gonna
you
look
know
at
you
the
are hubby a Halo player, D.
girl. No, I'm still with Pac-Man. I am with Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Berserk, and a little bit of Mario. Never get off the first board.
Well, look, let me tell you a little bit about Halo. So the guy Pablo Schreiber, who is going to be the star, he's going to
Mm-hmm.
be Master Chief, and that's the main protagonist in Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Now it's dramatized. It's a dramatization of
Mm-hmm.
a 26th century conflict between humanity and an alien threat known as the Covenant, while weaving deeply drawn personal stories with action, adventure, and a richly imagined vision of the future. So that thing is gonna start. I always call it a thing, but that thing is gonna start streaming in 2022 next year, of course. Features Natasha McElhone. I don't know how to say that. Um, Jen Taylor, and who was the other? Bokeem Woodbine. You know who that is, right? Bokeem Woodbine. Davina, are you there? Did you get stuck?
Sorry, hubby just came in. I had put you on mute. Let me check him out. I don't know that name right offhand, but I might know the face.
Yeah, that's why I just want you. Yeah, look it up. Bokeem Woodbine. You're gonna know who I'm talking about as soon as you see him. Shabani
Oh, girl,
Azmi.
yes. Jason's lyric.
Yep. Natasha Kulzak, Olive Gray, Ureen Ha, Bentley Kalu, Kate Kennedy, Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
I don't think it's that Charlie Murphy. We
I
know it
know, I
can't be
hope
that
not.
one.
I
And
really
Danny
hope not.
Sapani. Yeah, he cannot be in this show. And it's not even funny. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves, laughing at the dead.
No, I'm
But
just
yeah,
saying, like,
that-
let me look at these people.
What people now? Oh, the people that's in the show.
Yes.
Now, Angus said that he believes that I could be a gamer if I found the right game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I don't even have the patience. Oh,
Yeah,
look, and Duck Hunt. Don't forget to add that. Okay.
I don't, girl. All right, let's move to the let's see, Paramount. Did you have something else for this one?
No, I was trying to look up the cast to see who was who.
For Halo.
Who was that you were asking me about?
Who
was that you were asking me about? Did y'all know? Oh, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah.
And I don't see who that is, but go ahead. Oh, Charlie Murphy is a female.
Oh, good. Because I'm like, y'all resurrected folks now. Shit, something ain't right.
Oh, gosh.
HBO Max, we still in streaming. HBO Max. This one right here, I thought would be of particular interest to you.
Yeah.
Even though you know I'm a basketball fan as well, you are far more current about what's going on in the world of the NBA. But this is going to take us back in history to a time that, like, before I even knew how in love I was going to fall with this game.
Yes, it's
winning
definitely
time.
a part of our life.
Yes, it was always ball is life. You know how the kids say ball is life. It was life for us.
Yes.
So, and this was an era, the 1980s LA Lakers was an era that introduced me to basketball. And you usually didn't see, when I was a little girl, wasn't no basketball on TV every day like it is right now. Do you know what games you saw? The Lakers and the Celtics. They always televised those games nationally. Other than that, you have to watch, your local team. But the one nationally televised game would always be the Lakers versus the Celtics. And they had some absolutely heartbreaking and amazing at the same time conflicts between those two teams throughout the entire 80s.
And then they went to the Pistons because they was the bad boys.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just talking early because before they graduated to having a couple more teams that they followed. But for about 10 years, if you were going to see a nationally televised game, this is of course before we had all of these different channels and all of this shit. When the only thing that you had was if they're gonna play this game on channel 7 or are they gonna play this game on channel 5.
We only had 2, 5, 7, 9, and 32 and 11.
9 played baseball. They did not play basketball on 9 for a long time. And so we knew that if we're gonna watch a game, you're choosing basically between, do you want to be a Celtics? You want the Celtics to win or you want the Lakers to win? And of course, I wanted the Lakers to win. I was in love with the Showtime. I believe that Larry Bird was possessed by the devil because those shots was otherworldly, literally otherworldly. Yes,
really?
I was
That's
like, oh my God! I'm this is hyperbole. I'm talking. I'm using animated language, but yes, that man had to have something in him. He had to be possessed. Some of the shots that man would hit, and then remembering Larry Bird at the end, near the end of his career, when he couldn't even sit up straight because he would get those back spasms. So he had to lay on the floor on the bench, when they took him out the game, and when they called his number, he'd get up off that floor like what nothing. They was just different. They was tough.
Because they loved the game.
They
It
was
wasn't about the money for them.
Yep.
It wasn't about the bickering. It was just trying to be the best.
So tough. And to watch this show on HBO Max about the rise of the Lakers dynasty, you are going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to see a whole lot of the Showtime Lakers, and you are also going to have to, in turn, see an awful lot of the Boston Celtics. I'm here for it.
So in this cast, it's going to be John Riley. They don't say who he's going to be, but Adrian Brody is going to be Pat Riley.
I'm trying to remember the face. I'm
gonna give you he was in The Pianist. He was in Predator, Detachment. Oh God, what happened?
I'm just gonna have to look his.
I'm gonna have to look his freaking, The Jacket, King Kong, Chapel.
Adrian Brody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to picture because I have to see his face because let me look it up.
I wish I could pull it up for you.
You can. Can't you share your screen?
Oh crap!
But I'll look it up. I'm trying to remember if this is who I'm thinking it is.
Okay, hold on. I think share.
And it's gonna ask you which one of those tabs you want to share or whatever.
Oh Lord. Okay, so I don't know how big this is going to be, but this is not what I need it to be. I need it to be bigger. You won't be able to see.
Okay. I'm gonna go
when
ahead
I do
and
it.
finish.
We'll work that out.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and finish looking them up over here. But just if you ever want to share your screen.
Yep. So he's gonna play Pat Riley.
I can see it.
And then Magic Johnson is going to be this guy named Quincy Isaiah.
Now
he kind of got a Magic smile.
I was just gonna say the smile is what was
and he played in things like Women of the Movement. I haven't even seen that, didn't even know about that. A lot of these things I have not seen. Gorilla and the Bird. You will have to look him up as well, because I think that these are none of the things that I saw.
Because
he's on the cast of the Upshaws. That's the most recent thing that I know of. So I've seen him on there.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe he's just that young where this is like, hopefully will be his breakout kind of role. Guess we have to keep our eye on him.
And Wood Harris, I see these faces, but I'm not good with these names. Mm-hmm. You know him because you would know him too. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. I love him.
Now, who is he playing?
They don't have anything by him right now. They don't have, his character by them.
Let me go back to the name of his article and see if it says it in the article, because I don't know. I don't remember it saying. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't see
the
name, because he was in Empire. He is a very good actor.
Yeah, you're right though. I don't see I don't see what role they tapped him for. So yeah, we'll just keep our
They
eye
don't.
on the project. That's another one that's just going on the list.
Yes, because I was trying to get this picture of this Solomon Hughes because he's going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, Doctor Solomon or something like. I don't know who he is, but
Yeah, I'm trying to get a picture of him so I know who he is. All right. Yes. I'm so excited about that because
yeah,
now I
this
don't
is
have to
what.
go see it.
Yeah, plus I was looking out for Bun because I have particular interest in Lysandra and her ability to watch movies. If
Look, you know she
if
gonna
it's
watch it 100 times.
when it comes out, so Marvel's Eternals is going to land on Disney Plus 69 plus Disney Plus 69 days after its November 5th release. That date is being January 12th, 2022. So if you have not yet seen Eternals and you have Disney Plus, you'll be getting access to it on January 12th, 2022. The last time I talked about this, I didn't have a concrete date. Now I do. So now you'll know that if you want to watch it, it'll be there. It'll be there.
Yes.
I think this might be our last slide. But it says Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. This movie that we've been talking about it sporadically over the last few months, as they've been talking about it being in production and that sort of thing. It has added Florence Pugh, Rami Malek, and Benny. I don't know how to say Benny's last name, Safdie, to the cast. Now I
Saturday.
know I'm familiar with Florence Pugh and Rami Malek and their work. And I'm like, this dude, when Christopher Nolan wants to do a project, he just, he just loads the freaking deck. And this is another example of him going and getting more heavy hitters for this more heavy hitters for this movie that I'm beginning to look more and more forward to. Again, we know that it's a heavy topic, but I'm looking forward to it. If you put together the ensemble that you did, hopefully, and then you got Christopher Nolan directing, hopefully everything else lines up. So that this will be another great Christopher Nolan Inception type, Tenet type, the Batman trilogy type. When you start talking about a genre, you have to you got to mention Christopher Nolan. That's your screen. Are you trying to share that for real? D.
Ooh, what? No.
Well, I won't put it
You see
up.
my screen?
Yep.
Oh, good thing I wasn't doing nothing inappropriate.
No, I didn't put it
this
up.
was this is the young gentleman that is going to be playing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. And you know.
Yeah.
Is he tall? I'm not saying is he tall. That was a dumb question. Is he as tall as?
I was trying to check that out.
Okay.
I'm not sure. He looks kind of tall.
Mm-hmm.
They say they got some
We gonna have
official
to see.
pictures here, so I was just trying to check it out and see what was going on. Wasn't trying to
Okay.
interrupt you.
Oh no.
Let me stop sharing.
Yeah, I took it off. Oh, you taking it off.
Okay.
I took it off the screen.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't have no other slides except for the thanks to my patrons. Gotta say thanks to my patrons. Emily T, Eileen M,
always.
Clarence B, Libra Spirits, Larry E, rather. I just said the man's whole name. Larry E, I appreciate all of you for your continued support for this show. And if you would like to become a patron, you can girl, I wasn't even sharing. I'm supposed to be sharing my screen. Where's that? There's my patrons. There they are. So thank you, patrons, for your continued support. If you'd like to become a patron, you can support my channel by going to patreon.com/Tasha Pierce. Pick a tier, any tier, because whatever you can do for help will be appreciated. Now, you can also help me by sending your feedback and your suggestions to sinister.media.network@gmail.com. That's a mouthful, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on the bottom of the screen so that you can remember where you can send that feedback if you have some. You can follow me on social media. On Twitter, I'm Snap After, and on Facebook, it's After the Snap Movies TV. On YouTube, it's After the Snap Movies and TV. So if you haven't found me on YouTube, I would truly appreciate a follow on YouTube because, that's where my money is. Do you want to say some thanks before I move on to begging
I was
for money
looking up
again?
that guy. He's 6'11", and
Ooh.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 7'2".
So it's not that many inches between them.
So no,
I'm
but
put the
it's
schedule
been
up here. We ain't
fun.
even got to talk about it. If you guys are interested in the schedule and knowing when we will be back,
I won't be back tomorrow, but I'll try to listen while I'm at work.
I'll be back. I'll be back. So yeah. So the dude is 6'11". That sounds like, yeah. That's a tall drink of water there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot. Hopefully you come tomorrow, you guys. I know Dee is going to be at work. She's already let us know. But if you come back tomorrow, you'll see me talking about a streaming series, maybe some streaming movie, some on occasion. We do recaps and discussions. So it ain't just me talking. I do want you guys to join in, just like today, which was fun.
Yes.
So join me tomorrow. We'll talk. We talk about Star Trek Discovery, Hawkeye, and the Wheel of Time.
Well, you got a new person, or one person I've never seen before, Barbara Hensley.
I don't know what VOA means.
Me either.
Probably something that's not nice. So don't be excited to see it because it might not be a nice comment.
I know what VOA means in my world of work.
Yeah, but you see this FYL.
Yeah. What is FYL?
Well, what you know what FML is? Fuck my life. So I don't know if FYL means fuck your life.
Yeah. That's how they feel, huh? Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means, so we'll just pull that down. We don't have to. Should I block it or should I put her in timeout?
Block
it
it.
Could have been somebody, and this could be a misunderstanding. So you're in timeout. I don't know who that is.
You so nice. I'll be blocking that.
Oh no, if it's something that I know that it ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about, for sure I know, I block them. But Barbara, this could be a misunderstanding. Next time you can't write, we older ladies, we don't know all these abbreviations and shit. You gonna say some shit? I'm gonna need you to say that
Just
shit.
spell it out. Don't have
say some shit. I'm gonna need you to say some shit and say it with your chest. Okay. Shoot, I think my schedule has been up there long enough. You guys hopefully know where to find us.
It's been so fun.
It has been fun.
I've been with you for like 10 hours almost.
10 hours. Girl.
You tired of me. I probably won't talk to you till Tuesday.
Hours. I did all that twisted shit in my hair. Sit here, look at a hot fucking mess at 3:00. Ain't that some shit?
I'll stay on task next time and make sure you're all right.
See you later, Stacy. Have a
Bye,
good one.
Stacy. Bye, Bun.
See you later,
Miss
Bunny.
Agnes. I'm sorry, Mr. Agnes.
Angus.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry, Mr. Angus.
Yeah. So it's been fun. See you guys later. And yeah, I'm not even going to waste your time trying to figure out where my brand thing is so I can play the outro music. I'm just going to go bye.